Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so let us get started. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Yashodanandana Braja Yashodanandana Braja Janaranja Yashodanandana Braja Janaranja Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Yamunatira Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Shila Prabhupada. Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev, Hare Om, Hare Om, नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की शिल प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, dear devotees, for giving your valuable association. Very grateful to all of you. Hare Krishna. I would also like to thank Rishikesh Prabhu and Puja Mataji for hosting all of us and welcoming in their homes. Thank you so much. So today we'll continue study of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are going to study from chapter number 13. So it's a very wonderful chapter. It's like a story form, but there are a lot of important points which are mentioned in this. Very amazing chapter because all of us have material attachment. How many of us doesn't have material attachment? Everybody has it, right? This chapter talks about how to renounce from material attachment. So it's a very wonderful chapter. It's a little heavy, but it's written in a very story form. So very wonderful. Everybody will love it. Yeah. So before that, let's invoke the Mangalachara. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobisham Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Lalita Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhambitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vacha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So before we begin, I just want to pray my gratitude. Whatever that we are going to study, it is from the purport of Srila Prabhupada, the commentary of our Acharya Varg, and the discourses that I listened to. So whatever presentation that you are going to see, it is from there because of their mercy. So nothing is mine. So whatever credit may come, whatever good that you see, may all be because of them. So please transfer all the good things to them. And if there's any mistake, it will be solely mine because I'm trying to learn and along with you as well. So please bear with me. I also want to pay my gratitude to all the devotees who I listen to and take inspiration from. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. So we are going to study chapter number 13, Dhritarashtra quits home. So let's begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we have seen so far that the Parikshit Maharaj is born, right? So we have seen that how Parikshit Maharaj's detour was taken. Like all the rishis asked questions, and then Sutta Goswami took them on a detour, and then brought back to this point where Parikshit Maharaj is born. So now we are going to enter into next chapter, and then we need to understand, because the next chapter will come where it will come as that Parikshit Maharaj will chastise the Kali. So if he has to chastise Kali, then he has to become a king, right? And therefore, thank you. It's all okay, right? Yeah, okay. So Parikshit Maharaj has to become king to do that, right? So here we will see that Sutta Goswami is going to talk about how the Parikshit Maharaj is becoming a king, right? And before that, we need to understand that what events led for him to become a king, because he's still a child, but he has to become king means there are a lot of events which needs to happen, right? So all those events are getting described. So Bhagavatam is not like in a chronological order. That okay, this happened, then this happened, this happened. It's not like that, but it's in a logical order. It's not chronological. It's logical, because we see in the first canto, Krishna disappears, he departs, but in 10th canto he appears. So he said, he disappeared, he appeared. What is this, right? Similarly, the discussion between Vidura, that he's going to leave, that we'll see here. So he has a discussion happening with Maitreya Muni in the 3rd and 4th canto, but his discussion, he's coming back here after discussion. So how is this? This little, but it's a logical thing. So we'll understand that. Okay. So, and these are the sections in which we will study. So we'll try to cover first section today, where Vidurji is returning back to Hastinapur. He's returning to Hastinapur. That we will see. So where did he go? He went, pilgrimage, right? So we'll try to understand what things are happening here, because see, and we need to understand that what exactly happened. Why did Vidura had to go to pilgrimage? Isn't it? We all should know that. Why did he go? Right? So let us begin. Okay. So where is it gone? Yeah, here. So let us recite these verses. Sutta uvacha vidurastirthayatrayam Maitreyat atmanogatim gnatva Hastinappuram Tvayavapta vivistitah Yes. Rishit, can you please read translation, beta?
Sri Shuka Goswami said, while traveling on a pilgrimage, Vidura received knowledge of the destination of the self from the great sage Maitreya, and then returned to Hastinapur. He became as well versed in the subject as he desired.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, beta. So here now we need to understand that now he has come back. But how he went, when he went, this we need to understand. We need to connect these points together, right? All the dots together so they can see the whole picture. So once, this is before the war took place, right? Vidur was telling Dhritarashtra, because they are brothers. He was saying Dhritarashtra that, look, Dhritarashtra, your son, Duryodhana, you know, he is defaming our dynasty, the Kuru dynasty. Okay. But you are not telling him anything. You have to tell him that do the right thing. He is doing a lot of unjust to Pandavas, right? So you must tell him that he should return the kingdom to Pandavas. That's what he promised. So he should give it back. He should not hold it. And you must chastise him. Because our dynasty, Kuru dynasty, is blameless. There is no blame on our dynasty. But because of him, we will become fameless. So you must tell him. So when he was talking to Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana was just came and he heard this. So he was fuming with anger, become very angry. And says, who are you to give this kind of things to my dad, my father? Who are you? Right? You are a son of a Dasi. You are a Shudra. How can you talk like this? So he is saying, as a punishment, we'll let you go from here because of your service to this Hastinapur. We will leave you with the breath in your nostril. Means we will not kill you, but you cannot live here anymore. So you have to go with just what you have. That's it. Just leave. So Dhritarashtra also couldn't do anything. And then Vidura left. So Vidura left, and then on the way, he meets Uddhav. So now, how he meets Uddhav, so we need to go to other story, right? So when Krishna has gone back, as we saw in the previous chapter, last what happened? Krishna goes back to Dwarka. So he goes back, Arjuna goes, Satyaki goes, and they are staying. And then Arjuna comes back. All these things are happening. And then what happens there is that Krishna has his own family. His son Samba is playing game. So he puts a pillow in his belly and look like he's pregnant. He puts like a dress of a woman. And then there are sadhus who are coming into Dwarka. He tells that let's go and talk to the sadhu. And he says, hey, sadhus, this woman is pregnant. Can you tell us it's going to be a boy or a girl? And sadhu, obviously, they know things. He says, no, don't play with us. It is not good. But because you did this, we are going to curse that he will give a birth to a lump of iron. And as soon as they said, at once, the lump of iron dropped from Samba's boom. He just dropped it at once. And these children got afraid. Hey, what is this? And he also told that this lump of iron will be the cause of the annihilation of your dynasty. Now they got really worried. So they immediately went to Ugrasen, who was the king of Dwarka. And he told him that this is what had happened. Ugrasen immediately told that, okay, file this to the smallest particle and then put it into ocean. So he did that. They did all this filing and all that, put it there. But this all waves brought them back to the shore. And from there, the metal grass kind of thing, metal cane grew from there. Now, this was happening. Krishna also came to know that, oh, this curse has happened. So Krishna tells everyone, my dear fellows, we have been cursed. So now we need to do prashchit. We need to do something. So let's do some puja. And it says, let's go to the Prabhas Kshetra, which is a very pious place. Let's all go there and do some rituals. So he takes everybody, they do rituals. And after having ritual, they drank wine and they get intoxicated and they fight. And how the Yadu dynasty got over. And then Krishna departs. Before that, Krishna has given instruction to Uddhav that whatever knowledge I am giving you to go to Badrikashram and give this knowledge to the sages there. So he goes, he's on the way to Badrikashram, and that's where Vidur meets him. So Vidur comes to know that Krishna has departed because Vidur is asking, okay, how is Krishna? How's all Dwarkavasis? He says, you don't know? They already left. Vidur becomes very sad. But he says, okay, give me some instruction that he must have given to you. He said, who am I to tell anything? Because you are like my father age, and I'm like your child. A child should not be instructing to father because it's called, what is called? It's called Vyatikram, which is not correct. So he says, instead you go to Maitreya Muni and learn from them. So he says, okay. So Uddhav goes there, and then Vidura meets Maitreya Muni. And that's where the discussion happens. Maitreya Muni and Vidura discuss almost 2 cantos of Bhagavad. Third and fourth cantos are discussion between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. This is a discussion.
So you say that Krishna depart, and then this started. But if Krishna depart, then already the Mahabharata youth is done.
Right? So done, yeah.
Then why Vidura is?
Vidura has left before the war started.
Oh.
Because Vidur was telling that give this kingdom back to Pandavas. Right? But he did not, and he says, no, get out from here. You cannot live here. So he was asked to leave before the war started. And then that's why I'm making sure you all understand, because these stories are intertwined, and if you don't understand, we get confusion. So I'm just setting some context here. So that's what happens. They are very clear on this, right? Right. So there he meets Maitreya Muni, and then Maitreya Muni gives instruction to him, and that will be see in the next, Canto 3 and 4 later on, and also some instruction comes in Canto 11. So this is how it is all there. So we'll study that later, and very detailed, very interesting things are there. So this is what happens. So now after this instruction is given and all that, Vidur comes back to Hastinapur. By the time the war was over, Yudhishthira Maharaj was coronated as a king. All these things are already taken place. That is what we are going to study now. Okay. So all the translation and purport are by our beloved Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Prabhupada writes here, a lot of details are given about certain personalities in this chapter. Like in this particular words, Vidur, who is Vidur and all this. Anybody knows who is Vidur? Yes, ma'am.
Dasi's son.
Okay, Dasiputra, correct. But who was he before? Previous life. Anybody know?
May I? Yamraj.
Oh, you're joined? Okay, yes. I couldn't say suddenly I see somebody. Yes,
Hare
Yamraj.
Krishna.
Yes, Yamraj. So Yamraj, sound also came suddenly. I don't see her, I'm suddenly speaking. So yes, Yamraj, he was Yamraj. So everybody knows how he become, Yamraj become this, story knows? Okay, so we need to talk about that. Prabhupada writes that in the story. So as we know that Pandu, Dhritarashtra and Vidu, they are all brothers, right? Ambalika, and then Ambalika's maid servant, from there Vidur came, right? So Vyasadeva educated this. So let us understand who Vidur is, right? Because this is important. So who is Vidur? Now we know that he was a Yamraj in the previous life. So what happened once, the Yamraj was cursed by Manduka Muni. Manduka Muni cursed Yamraj to become a Shudra in his next life for 100 years, but as a human bird. So what happened? Once Manduka Muni was doing meditation in his hermitage, and some thieves came. They stole a lot of gold and all the stuff, and they put it in his, and they were also there. They hid it in his hermitage. So when the police came and started searching, and they found, oh, these thieves are here. This all the stolen material is also here. That means they took everybody, including thieves and Manduka Muni also. He was taken. And they told king, this is what has happened. King said, okay, kill all of them. because they are all done that. And Mandukumani was surprised. So the punishment was given to them. So all the thieves must be hanged, and the rishi should be, killed by piercing his iron rod from his back till his head. So he was like, this curse is not good. How can he? But when the king comes to know, because king just invoke the punishment, he says, give this punishment. But as soon as he come to know that, oh, this is the Manduk Muni, he said, no, don't do that. For Muni, don't do that, because he is a pious person. He would never do that. But because he announced that, the Muni was, perplexed in his. Somebody says, okay, now tomorrow you will be hanged. I said, what? Now how much, problem will have mentally, a mental agony one will have. So he had gone through that mental agony. So he goes back to Yamaraj after his life is over. And Yamaraj, he asked Yamaraj that why did you put me through this agony? What was the reason? He says, when you are a child, you can see this child, but you pierce an eye of an insect with a sharp object. So for that, you have to get a punishment. He said, at that time, I had no idea. I was like a young boy. So how can I, you don't know how to do justice. So you are a fool. He says. So I curse you to become a Kshudra in next life. So therefore, Yamraj become Vidura in the next life. So this is how he comes here. So that is the story of Vidurji. Right?
One question about that. So clearly Yamaraj still has to exist.
Yeah.
Right? So then does somebody else take the role of Yamaraj in that case?
You see, these are all roles. Yamaraj is role, Indra is a role, Brahmaji is a role. Everybody is going to take roles. As we know, it's like cabinet minister. If we just do an election, they will win. I mean, not like our election, but it's a temporary role. All devatas have a temporary role. They are not permanent. So they will go through that. Yeah. Right. So that is Vidur. So now Vidur has come back. All right. So let us read the verse number 2. Yavat kritavan prashan chatta kaushara vagratah jataika bhakti govinde devasya choparam ha. Okay, Mahi, can you read beta?
Accidental loving service of Lord Krishna, Vidura retired from putting questions to
Maitreya Muni.
Maitreya.
Very nice, very good. So here one very important Siddhanta is being discussed. He says, Vidura asked a lot of questions, right? To who? Maitreya Muni. And then he says, when he established in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he stopped asking questions. That means when we love Krishna so much, right? And we are only focused him and attaining him, then all our questions will be answered automatically. No question. If we have doubts, that means we haven't reached that stage. That's what it means. When we reach that stage, we will not have any questions. Any questions. So here we can see, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Vidur retired from putting questions before Maitreya Muni when he was convinced by Maitreya Rishi that the summum bonum of life is to be finally situated in the transcendental loving service of Lord Shri Krishna, who is Govinda, or one who satisfies his devotees in all respects. See, when you ask something to someone and they respond back to you, if you are satisfied, will you have any questions beyond that? No. So similarly,
what is the meaning of the Samam Bonam?
Huh?
What is the meaning of Samam Bonam?
Sammam Bhoma is the highest thing that we need to achieve in our life, the goal of our life. So our highest goal that we are discussing in Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? The highest goals, various things. So that is Krishna Bhakti, that we get Sammam Bhoma. There also it is mentioned. So here, similar thing happened that once you have Krishna in your life, then there are no more questions. No more questions will come. But since we have not reached stage, we keep asking questions, which is fine because that's how we should evolve, right? because there are no questions left after that. So that is what it is here. So now we can see Prabhupada writes further that in the next point which are there. So neither fruitive activity nor dry philosophical speculation can give one satisfaction. If you have speculation, we are trying to do a dry philosophy, a Mayavadi, and a lot of questions are there in our mind, then they are not going to give us any satisfaction. Because if we are trying to understand things through a logic, then it is going to be a problem. Then we will never get, because logic is something that we can never understand, very difficult. Because logic will keep changing. It will not be fixed. It will not be fixed. But love is always there. Like mother loves the child, regardless of what is the child doing, mother love is always constant. There is no difference with that. Similarly, Krishna loves us. But if we love the similar way to Krishna, then there is no problem. But our love is conditional with Krishna. If something is favorable, great, Krishna, you're so merciful. Something, Krishna, what is this? So it's like that. So once we receive that highest thing in life, we have no questions. So Prabhupada writes that all the Vedic literatures give him direction towards the ultimate end. And Bhagavad Gita also confirms. What is it? Bhagavad Gita says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivisto matta smritirgnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarve rahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Okay. Kavish, yes. Go ahead.
Everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here it's all clear, right? That everything that we study, all the Vedas, scripture, and all that, ultimate goal is to go get what? To know Krishna. That's it. That's the final goal. Whatever you study, nothing else. If you are trying to find something else from the scripture, then that is not our goal. Then we are not on the right track. We are getting distracted, right? So Krishna tells that. And the purport, Prabhupada writes one very wonderful point, and that everybody as a parent, we should know this. Because we have many parents, including myself. This is a very important instruction that Prabhupada writes here. So what Prabhupada writes? One who is not seriously inclined to put questions before a spiritual master need not accommodate a show bottle spiritual master, nor should a person who may be a spiritual master for others pose to be so if he is unable to engage his disciple ultimately in the transcendental loving service of Lord Shri Krishna. So there is a wonderful word where Rishabhadev tells all his sons in the 5th canto. So let's recite this word, because this is an important instruction for all of us, all parents, right? Who are in a superior position. So let's say, Guru na sasya swajano na sasya Pita na sasya janani sasya Daivena tasya na patischa sasya Namo chayedya samupeta mrityam. Okay, so I want some parent to read. Yes, Vishakamati, can you please read?
Translation. One who cannot deliver his dependents from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master, a father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipable demigod.
Thank you. So here he says, if we are not in a position to deliver, meaning giving the bhakti to our child, our disciple, then we have no right to become a mother, father, guru, demigod. No. Even a leader, we should not become that. We should not accept that position if we are not able to give this bhakti to our children. This is such an important instruction, dear devotees. Very important. That means We need to practice and then give it to others, isn't it? Like today, I met one of my colleague in office, and we are like, workshop is getting over, so we are saying bye and all this stuff. So we are talking about what you do, how you do, and all that. I was saying we study Bhagavad Gita, and all that. I also want my daughter to study Bhagavad Gita. I said, yeah, go ahead. He said she's just 3 years, no, perfect age. Just start reading along with her. But I told you, if you tell your daughter to study and if you don't do it, then she won't do it. Means you have to do it. If you sit together opening your Bhagavad Gita and sitting and reading, the child will come and say, okay, daddy, I want to see what you're doing. Yeah, let's read this. The child will get interested. But if you tell, take this, okay, tell me first word, second word, the child will tell probably once or twice, but then they will not develop love for this scripture. They might do it. Like, I teach in Gita wise. So I see a lot of children who come, but the parent have no interest. They want their children to become devotee, but they don't want to become this. So that is not going to work, because the child at the young age, they look at the behavior of the parent, not what they tell. They do as parent do. They don't do as parent tell. This is a myth. If you have this situation in mind, it is never like that. They might do it out of fear and respect and all the stuff, but they will reject that as when they grow up, because they will see hypocrisy. Because what you are telling, you are not doing. Like when we tell no more mobile, and then we keep watching, shorts and all those stuff, they'll say, yeah, maybe when I grow up, I will have my phone and I will do the same thing, right? So we have to be very careful. This is a very important instruction for all of us. All of us, everybody is included here, right? So we have to make sure, and that's what Prabhupada is saying, that one should not take up a position just of a leader, just to be a so-called leader. Oh, I'm a leader and all, but doing nothing. That's what today's politician does. They just become leader and then what expert the people. But one should not become that. That's what scripture says, right? And then further Prabhupada writes that Vidur was successful in approaching such a spiritual master like Maitreya, and he got the ultimate goal of life, bhakti unto Govinda. Thus, there was nothing to be known further about spiritual progress. That's it. Once we know this, there is nothing else required in life, dear devotees. Now, this is a hard reality because we all are trying to rise in a corporate ladder, right? We're trying to increase our material opulences. We all are in that race. But if you know this, then that's nothing is required. So, but we have to keep practicing. It's not that we have to give up tomorrow and today and all, nothing of that sort. This is like we have to absorb. So only when we do chintan on these things, then this will go inside, right? Otherwise, it will just remain here. And then we come in a class, we hear it was nice kirtan, nice class, nice presentation. Oh, wonderful prasad. And then we go home and then we forget about it. That's what happened with most of the people, including myself. That's how I have lived life. But then later on, realize we are wasting so much time. The value of certain things is known when we don't have and when we lose it. Only these two times we know the value of the things. When we have it, we don't realize the value. It's a fact of life, dear devotees. When we don't have, we really want it. We work so hard for that. And once we get it, yeah, I got it now. And when we don't have, then we say, oh, I should have managed it, isn't it? This is what happens. We all must have experienced this, right? I have experienced this. In case of time, we have time, right? In Corona time, we have so much time. Some people really progress because they put their heart and soul in studying scriptures. And some just spend time on Netflix and what is it, Prime or something, and then the time is over and say, I wish I should have done that. But no, time is gone. So when you don't have, you say, I wish I had more time, I will study. And when you get time and you don't do it, then you lose it and say, I wish. So this is what happens, dear devotees. So therefore, this is such a great instruction for all of us. Let's take it to heart and implement this in our lives. Yeah. So now let's go to next verse. Verse 3 and 4. Now the welcoming is happening. Who's being welcomed? Vidur. And who's welcoming? Yudhishthira Maharaj and all others. So very wonderful. And this also has a lot of instructions. So we'll study that. Tam bandhum agatam drishtva dharma putra sahanuja dhritarashtra yuyitsa cha Suta shara dhrita prutha Gandhari Draupadi Brahman Subhadra Chottara Kripi Anyascha Jamaya Pandor Gnataya Sasuta Striya. Yes, Kavish, can you read, brother?
When they saw Vidura return to the palace, all the inhabitants, Maharaja Yudhishthira and his younger brothers, Dhritarashtra, Satyaki, Sanjaya, Kripachana, Kunti, Gandhari, Draupadi, Subhadra, Uttara, Kripi, many other wives of the Kaurav and other ladies with children, all hurried to him in great delight. It so appeared that they had regained their consciousness after a long period.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. You can see how wonderful this is. See, the last line is so important. It appeared that they regained their consciousness. Right? Because the environment was not so great, right? Because so many lives have been lost. The women have become widows, the children have become orphaned. So it was not a great scene. But please come here. No? I think they are sitting far. Please come forward because you are sitting too far. Yeah. Everybody, please come a little forward, because we have a lot of space here. Nobody's come here. Yeah. Thank you. You all come here because they are sitting. I think there is something. Yeah. So, when Vidur came to Hastinapur, back in Hastinapur, what happened? They become very happy. So I will tell you one beautiful thing. So what is this? Smile, happiness. Okay. So now I want to read this. So Ritish, please read this. First sentence.
Some people bring happiness wherever they go.
Okay. Akshay.
Some people bring happiness whenever they go.
You see the difference between these two? You see the difference between these two? When somebody comes, oh, Prabhuji, welcome, welcome. And they are so happy about whenever somebody comes, right? And some people say, when he'll go. When he goes, okay, great, he's gone. Oh, we are happy. Oh my God. So, do you know where is this whenever they go? Have you seen any cases like that? No, whenever they go.
Oh, I know.
Not wherever they go. Whenever they go. So, I think we have not read that, but I'll tell you, there is a chapter in Antyalila. Antyalila in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think 8th chapter, where Ramachandra Puri is criticizing Mahaprabhu. That's the chapter. Because he was rejected by his own guru, Madhavendra Puri. He is actually the godbrother of Ishwar Puri, who is the guru of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But his guru rejected him because he was criticizing the devotees so much. He says, you are not fit to be my disciple. So he was chastising so much to Mahaprabhu that Mahaprabhu had to cut down his food. He said, you are a sannyasi, you are eating so much. How can we eat? And Mahaprabhu then did not say anything, but he stopped eating. He's taking very little food. So when he went, from Jagannath Puri, everybody very happy. They become, okay. Now Mahaprabhu can eat sumptuously. They are so happy. So we have to be in which category? We all should be in which category? Wherever you go or whenever you go. Yes, wherever we go, we should be happy. We should make people happy. That means we have to talk nicely. We have to behave, compassionately with people. That's how we become happy. That's a relationship, right? These are the sweet things that we need to enjoy. We have come here for 1 hour, 2 hours. We should spend nice time with each other, learn from each other. Somebody is doing some small thing. Say, this thing is good. I think he did such a nice thing. This is how we learn. I'll tell you one thing which I learned, that day we had a program at devotee's home. And when Mataji was trying to take darshan of a deity, their deity, and there is a big Tulsi Maharani, which is there. Now she was just walking hurriedly, so she did not notice. But as soon as she was passing, her, the leg touched the Tulsi Maharani, and the Tulsi was like waving. Immediately she held her and make it stable. So I saw it and I said, wow, this is such a nice, when you touch a plant, tree and plant, you must, just don't think they are like, okay, they are something. No, any tree or plant. We should immediately hail them. Like, you're walking and you brushes someone, then you should say sorry, and we do all this, right? But with the plant, we just keep walking. No, we should be careful. Small thing we learn from each other. This is what we should do. That is where this will become. Wherever you go, people will be happy. Oh, Vikas Rupa, come, embrace. So we should become happy like that, and we should make others feel happy, right? So that's what it is. So let us read here in the purport what Prabhupada says. So, yeah. See, everybody were happy, like Dhritarashtra, Satyaki, Yudhishthir and all that. So here, Prabhupada writes in a purport some prominent names of few women, So Gandhari. So Prabhupada writes about Gandhari. And from everyone, we need to learn something. Okay, so that's why I'm going to read some of them. I just don't want to skip. It's a long purport, goes into 3-4 pages, but I will tell some highlights here. So here, so Gandhari, the ideal chaste lady in the history of the world. She was the daughter of Maharaj Subal, the king of Gandhar. Now it is called Kandahar in Kabul, in Afghanistan. There is a place called Kandahar. Many years ago, our plane was hijacked. It was flying from Nepal or somewhere. And that's the place, Kandahar. So she worshipped Lord Shiva, and she satisfied him so much that she asked for benedictions. I want 100 sons. 100 sons she wanted. I said, okay, tathastu. So we got to be careful what we ask, She asked, she got it also. So what happened, as we know, that she had a lot of good qualities. Gandhari had a lot of good qualities. As you know, when she came to know, because she was told that you will be married to the king of Hastinapur. They did not give the details that he is blind. She said she was very happy. And Gandhari is a very beautiful lady in her time. Okay, she was very beautiful and very chaste. But what happened? That when she came to know that her husband is blind, she also decided to put a, what do you call it? Cloth, cover her eyes and
blindfold.
Yeah, blindfold. And she said, I will be living like him, because if he is like that, why I cannot enjoy my life like that. Now, this is a very hard thing to do. Very hard thing. All right. So here Prabhupada writes that she had a lot of good qualities, but despite all her good qualities, she had the natural frailties of a woman. So what are the natural frailties of a woman? Like she's kind, she's loving, she has attachment to family, she's shy, right? She's delicate. These are all called woman qualities, and they are made like that by Krishna. So it is not that a woman is not doing hard work. You should do it in name of feminism. They are put to hardship and all that, which is not correct. That is not right. They are doing certain work in kitchen, cooking and all that. That's what their duty is. They should do it, regardless of their position. Like just because I become a CEO of a company as a woman, yeah, that's good. But you should continue to do your service, like taking care of the children, cooking in the home for family. These are the duties of a woman that must be done. So Prabhupada writes that despite all her good qualities, she had the natural frailties of a woman, and she was envious of Kunti when the latter gave birth to a male child. So, as we know, both Kunti Maharani and Gandhari, they become pregnant at the almost same time. And in the king, it has happened that whoever is the youngest or the eldest child will be the next king. That's how it is, right? So Gandhari always wanted that, okay, her son should come first so he can become a king. But nature wanted something else. So Yudhishthir came first. right? And she become very envious and angry. She become very envious and angry. So because of that, she hit her womb, and a lump of meat came out of that. And then she was crying what to do. Then they called the Vyasdev, and he divided that lump into 100 different pieces, put it into a bottle of ghee, and then from there, the 100 children came. And they also had one daughter. So this is how things happen, right? But the point is that she had those, quality of a woman, which is natural, but they must exhibit, they must do their duties. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, that all our prescribed duty, we must do it howsoever imperfect it may be. If Mata is able to cook, if they are not able to make chapati, sometimes it is burnt chapati, but they should keep trying and become good in that. I don't know, I will never be able to do it. No, that is not. We should keep doing, even if it is imperfect. Let them do the duty instead of doing somebody else's duty. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. It's a very important section, right? So on that, our Guru Maharaj, he's known as Sadhana Sri Maharaj, tells one story. So anybody heard a place called Kheturi festival? Anybody has heard? So there's a place called Kheturi now it is in Bangladesh. Okay. So let's go to Bangladesh for a moment. Okay. So in Bangladesh, there is a very wonderful place called Kheturi, where a Kheturi festival is getting celebrated. Basically, it's like appearance of Mahaprabhu, they celebrate on that day. So when this festival was happening, all the devotees were invited, like Narottam Das Thakur, Shamanand, Pandit, and they all invited. Many devotees, people are coming from various places. They made huge, nice arrangement. And at that time in this assembly also, the Janva Devi came. Janva Devi is the wife of Nityanand Prabhu. So she also came. Now she, in the assembly, was the most exalted and the most advanced and most senior devotee. However, she did not forget her duty. For all the thousands of devotees who came, she cooked with her own hands. Because she is a woman, she is supposed to cook. She is not thinking, I am a senior devotee, I am a wife of Nityanand Prabhu, I should be sitting and let everybody do. No. She went into the kitchen and taking help from others, she cooked for so many devotees. And not just cooked, she was feeding them with her own hands. So let us read that. Okay, Abha, can you please read?
Sri Nityananda Prabhu's dear concerts, Vasudha and Janava Devi, are expansions of Varuni myth. After the disappearance of Mahaprabhu, a huge Sankirtan festival was held in Kheturi on Gaur Purnima. During the divine Kirtan of those great souls, all the atheists and sinners were supremely purified. Within the newly constructed mandir, 6 deities were to be installed. Janava Mata herself cooked the food for the deities and distributed prasad by her own hand to all the great souls. She is the reservoir of Venmukti.
Hare Krishna. So we can see she did not forget her duty. See, this is a very important siddhanta that we should learn from all this different, character that we see, personality that we hear about. Very important. Every personality is teaching us something in our life. And by taking that good thing from each of them, we can improve our life to a great extent. We need to maintain consistency, pick good from that, and then implement in our life. Right? We should not just forget, yeah, we read this. It was, Prabhuji, you spoke about it. What happened? Have we implemented? That is important. Action is more important, right? Than just thinking, yeah, this is a good thing. If you say, I want to do an exercise, if you keep sleeping but don't wake up in the morning and do exercise, how will you reduce weight? It won't happen automatically. So action is more important, right? Yes.
When I was in, my family were all in Jagannath Puri, we visited the Gaudiya Math, where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur
Yes,
lives.
Purushottam Math.
Yeah, and there was Maharaj, like he was running the whole ashram. And
Right.
when we came for that Sunday, like they had Sunday feast style, the Maharaj himself was coming and he was serving every single devotee. He was serving, like he was not thinking he was better.
Absolutely.
They're serving with everyone else.
Very true. See, this is what it is, dear devotees. It's all about our behavior, how we execute these things. What we hear is like theory, but then these things have to be implemented in our life. Then the change will come. Sometimes the changes are hard. I know it is difficult because we have been conditioned for life for so many things. Suddenly things have to change. It's not easy, but we have to do it because it is for our good. It is for our good, right? So yeah, so very nice example that Avni shared, and it's so important. Here we see how she is serving. She is the greatest devotee in that whole assembly, right? But she did that. Like for example, Narottam Das Thakur sang the beautiful bhajans at the time, right? Uh, Shyamanand Pandit offered he did the decoration of all the altar and deities and all that. All these things are happening. Janma Devi could just sit and enjoy. But no, she's in the kitchen doing hard work, cooking for all the devotees and feeding them also. And when they were leaving, she was even packing the tiffin for them. Okay, please take it for the road. You can take it. So this is like motherly nature. As a woman, she would do all this, right? So we should not forget our qualities and our own duties by executing certain superficial activities, right? So that is what is important here. So this all there were born, right? So now they talk about so this is what has happened. Like she become envious of Kunti. So can you tell me similar situation where somebody become envious and big calamity came in the family? Huh? Kai become envious. Yes, very good. Kai become envious and big calamity. What others you can see? We talked about in some class. From Bhagavatam only there is a story. The king did not have a son, they got only one son.
Oh.
Yes. Chitraketu Maharaj, when they had a son, Harshashoka, all other wives of Chitraketu Maharaj, they become envious towards the Krita duty. And then what happened? The child was murdered. Can you imagine? This is what happened when the envy comes in, dear devotees. And envy is something that Krishna doesn't allow. We can never have envy. If you are envious, we cannot get entry in Krishna's home. No way, impossible. That's the quality Krishna doesn't allow. So, yeah. So women are like more emotional. They have familial attachment, right? The men are more of a rational. We apply a lot of logic. They are emotional. So these are all different qualities. We should not compare and say they are lower and higher. Nothing of that sort. It's like individual identity of a woman and this identity of man. That's how we are made, right? So yeah, that's their qualities. They are loving, caring, soft-spoken. All those things are there. So yeah, so Janma Devi did such an amazing service. So this is all we can learn from that, right? So now let's see what happens. So yeah, or we are back here. So now there is a Pritha. Pritha is nothing but Kunti. That's Kunti's name is Pritha. So let's talk a few things about Kunti Devi also. So Kunti Devi is also very pious, very, very pious personality. So Maharaj, she is the daughter of Surasen and the sister of Vasudeva, the Lord Krishna's father. Right. So she was adopted by Maharaj Kunti Bhoj, and that's why she became Kunti. She came to know as a Kunti. Right. She is also an incarnation of success, potency, of personality of Godhead. So she is incarnation. So she is very pious. So all these personalities that we see here, they are great personalities. They are not like an ordinary people, right? And if you see something in their life that they have done something wrong, it is for what? It is for teaching all of us. It is not that they are making mistake. They are doing it to teach us, right? Sometimes a father want to show his child that, oh, you're doing better than me, and child is drawing something nice, and maybe it's not great, but father will draw even worse than that. Doesn't mean father doesn't know. Father knows, but he's just trying to teach. You're doing good. Please do it. I'm not so good, right? It is like that they come to teach us. Like Bhishma Dev, we think he fought from the other side, but he's coming to teach us. that howsoever powerful you may be, but if you are on the other side, you will be finished. That's what he came to teach us. So therefore, we should not consider, when we read about all these different personalities, if we see something not so falling in line of dharma, we should not think, oh, they are not so great, elevated souls. No, they are, but they have just come to teach us, right? So that's what it is. And then, yeah, the Pandava banished to kingdom and all that. She did all those, she has done so much austerity. In fact, Kunti has done so much austerity when her husband left Pandu. She had nobody. She took refuge under the Dhritarashtra. And then his sons were getting attacked many times. They were getting killed, to be killed. Like Pandava, Bhim was given poison, right? All these things are happening. She had so much stress and she had nobody to look up to. So she has gone through definitely a lot of stress at the time, you can see. But she continued to be very chaste woman. This is a very important principle that we should know. And she also helped the Madhuri, who could not conceive a son. She said, okay, I'll give you a boon which I have. You do this. You take. She could have said, no, you stay. I will use all boon. No, but she gave it to her out of compassion. And she had a son, Sadev and Nakul, came from Madhuri, right? Who are coming from the Ashwini Kumars. So, point is that she's very pious. She's very compassionate. She's very loving. Despite all this calamity, she did not lose her nature. So this is what is being taught, that we may go through a lot of calamities, a lot of problems in our life, but we should not lose our own nature. This is very important. Otherwise, what's the difference between a great personality and a normal person, right? That's what it is. Then comes the Draupadi. So Draupadi, the most chaste daughter of Maharaj Draupadi, and partly an incarnation of goddess Sachi, the wife of Indra. So she is also a great personality. So Maharaj Drupad performed a great sacrifice under the superintendence of the sage Yaja. So now let's talk about this Drupad story, because there is a very good lesson that we need to learn from this. So anybody knows Drupad and Drauna story? What they are, what happened and all that, Mahabharata. A little Mahabharata story. So Drupad and Dronacharya, in their childhood, they were both friends and they were classmates. They were going under the same ashram. And when they were very thick pals, great friends, right? Fast friend they talk about. They were very great friends. So once, Drupad and Drona at that time, they were sitting under moonlight and they were talking, yeah, we are now going to graduate in some time. So I'll go home. I have nothing. Drupad say, I'll become a king. I'm a prince. I'm a son of a king. So I'll become a prince. I'll become a king. So I will have a nice life and all that. And Dronacharya said, yeah, I'm a poor Brahman. I have nothing. I will live my life, ordinary life. He said, no, don't worry. I'll give you my half kingdom. So he says, I'll give my half kingdom. He said, don't worry, I'll give my half the kingdom to you. Don't worry. And they departs. Dronacharya goes his home, Drupad goes in his kingdom. He becomes a king many years later. So now, one day, and both have, Dronacharya has his son, is born Ashwatthama. So Ashwatthama, once he was playing with his friends and all that, and that friend's mother gave him milk. And Dronacharya never had a milk in his life because he was very poor. So he didn't have that. So when the Ashwatthama drank that milk, he was saying, what is this? So amazing, nectar. So he came home and told his mother, Mother, can you give me this milk? I mean, it was so good. Tomorrow you give me the milk. The mother started worrying, the creepy, the Dronacharya's wife started thinking, how do I give milk? So what she did, she took water and put some atta, flour in that, and made it look like a white and adds a little bitter. But obviously it will not taste as milk, right? So, yes, please come, Mataji. Avyukta, please come. Hare Krishna. So he gave the milk, and Dronacharya was sitting aside and says, "Oh, I can't even give milk to my child. So not so good." And then he remembered, "Oh, my friend gave me this benediction, gave me this boon that you can come and I'll give you half the kingdom." He said, "Let's go there." So he goes to his friend's kingdom. He says, "We are here. Give me the, he says, you remember you told me that you'll give me the 50% of your kingdom?" He said, "Who are you?" He's not even recognizing Dronacharya. He said, "Who are you? Such a poor Brahman. You have come to my kingdom and asking for half the kingdom? Get out from here." He insults him and throws out. So now Dronacharya goes back. What he can do? He's a poor Brahman. He can do nothing. So when he was going back home and all that, the Pandavas, where the young, they were playing. And the ball which they were playing was in the water, inside. So they were like, who will bring that out? Because it's in very deep. So Dronacharya sees, and then he uses the arrows, one after another. He makes a chain of arrow and bring the ball back. And this Pandavas are astonished. They tell this to Bhishmadev. "We saw a Brahman and he was such a great archer." He says, "We need teacher like him. Please bring him." And Dronacharya comes to teach Arjun and Pandav and everybody. All the 105 children were being taught by Dronacharya. So Dronacharya is teaching. And as you know, Arjun is his favorite because Arjun, whatever Dronacharya will teach, Arjun will practice in the night. He will practice. So he will not, like others are sleeping, he is practicing. And that's why, because of his devotion, Dronacharya said, "I will make you the best archer." And he put his heart and soul into Arjun, give all the techniques and all the knowledge. So when this was happening, and then as you know, Dronacharya asked him to get an eye of a bird, but it was a wooden bird, okay? Not a real bird, dear children. It was a wooden bird. So Arjun is hitting that, and Dronacharya is very happy. So Dronacharya now remembers, okay, now he's become a great archer, let's take revenge. So he said, "Okay, I want you to go," he tells Arjun, "and bring that Drupad." Arjun said, "Okay," but Duryodhana is very envious. He said, No, wait, we will go." He said, "Let's go all 100. He says, "We will go. Don't, Arjun, you stay here." I said, "Okay." So he takes everybody 100, all of them 100 goes. And with their army also, Hastinapur army. The Drupad is as strong. So Drupad goes there, and Drupad and Duryodhana had fight take place. Drupad's army is so powerful that they defeat all the Kauravas, and their army also get defeated. They come back. So now Dronacharya says, "Arjun, you go." So he goes alone. And he brings back Drupad. He defeats him and brings back. He said, "Here is your, enemy." So now 100% of the kingdom is not 50%. 100% of kingdom is yours. Please take care of it. So Dronacharya says, "No, I don't want 100%. Just release it." So, Kshatriya, you feel insulted. If somebody, he said, "Better I die. I should have been killed than relieving me and just saying, okay, take this charity." So he was fuming. Then he goes back and he said, "I will get a son who will kill Dronacharya." You see how the envy and things are working, how the insult works is very dangerous. So that's where this is coming, that he perform a great sacrifice under the superintendence of sage Yaja. So here also there is a learning. So Yaja, so when Drupad wanted to do a yajna by which he can kill a Brahman, he was trying to approach very Brahmans. But nobody is getting ready because the son which will be born do a Brahma Hatya. So they were not agreeing. He said, "How can we do this?" Nobody is agreeing to that. Then he approaches a person called Upyaja, another sage. He said, "I won't do it, but my brother will do it." He said, "How come you won't do it, but your brother?" "But yeah, he will do it." So Yaja, he goes to Yaja and he does this. But now there is a story behind that. Why the yaja is doing and why not upayaja? So this is the importance about Krishna Prasad, dear devotees. So upayaja and yaja, they were in a forest and they were hungry. So yaja, he takes one fruit without washing, without offering, he eats. And because of that, his mind is now contaminated. And because of that, he even become ready to do a yajna through which a Brahman can be killed. So this is the importance of prasadam, that we should not eat anything which is not offered. Just because it looks very delicious, very tasty, is vegan, vegetarian, yeah, it's a new restaurant. We should avoid that as much as we can. All right. So this is the importance of that. So he begot a son which will kill Dronacharya. So now let's talk about the famous insults and their consequences which happened in some scripture. Can you tell what are the famous insults that have happened? And because of that, lot of things happened which we could have been avoided. Yes.
Karna
was insulted where?
No. Draupadi, Karna insulted Draupadi, right? During the disobeying time.
Yeah, Draupadi was insulted anyways. Either you speak or you do disobeying. That's anyway insult. Everybody did that. But before that, something happened. Anybody knows? Huh? No.
Krishna went to Duryodhan, don't give.
No, where is the insult? Insult. I'm talking about somebody getting insulted, humiliation. Somebody getting humiliated, and then they take big revenge, and they decide. Shakuni. No, okay, one is too much noise. Yes, Mataji is saying something from there. Duryodhan what? When? Yes.
And
so when he come to the Indraprasth, he fell down because thinking this is water, and then he was, lifting his dhoti and walking, and said they were laughing, and there is no water. It's like a normal floor. But when he sees a floor, it's actually water, and he falls down, and Draupadi insults him. And that's where all this Dhruta Krida happens because of that, and which they lose, and this is what happens. So you see, one insult, and so many issues happen. Okay, tell me other.
Sati, the Daksha insults.
Daksha insults
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva, yes. Daksha insults Lord Shiva, and see what happens. He gets a goat head. So this is a big issue. Even you should never insult. Yes.
Did Daksh get his head back?
He got his head back as a goat. He didn't get his original head. Okay.
You are saying.
Huh?
Karna was not treated as Kshatriya.
Karna was not treated as Kshatriya, so he took the side of Duryodhana. Yeah. So many are there. So there are other things which are coming up. So who is this? Jayadratha. Do you know Jayadratha was insulted? He was trying to abduct Draupadi. So Bhim and Pandava become very angry, and instead of killing him, they just insulted him. They cut hair like this, And just imagine you go to barber and they cut him. What is this? Come on. So he was insulted. And what happened because of that? Huh? No, not that. That is all there. That's a joint fighting that he does.
Jayadratha, because of that, Abhimanyu got killed. Because he was the only person who can.
He stopped because he had a benediction from Lord Shiva. And because of that, he was stopping all the Pandavas to reach in the Chakravyuh. And that's where see, this one insult, Parikshit Maharaj's father was killed because of this. You can see, one insult. Then we saw about Duryodhan, where he falls down and this way. Then what happened to another one? Aswathama was insulted. Isn't it? He was insulted. And then what he did? He sent Brahmastra to kill Parikshit Maharaj. The Krishna has to intervene. So point is that, dear devotees, we should never insult anyone. If you are not in good terms, just walk away nicely. But no humiliation, no insult should happen. It's a very dangerous thing because it can backfire. It can ruin our lives forever. And we can see this history, these Shastras are always teaching us something. And we must keep our eyes and ears open to learn this from the scriptures. Right? So this is a very important lesson that we can learn from here. Right? So here in the purport, Prabhupada writes, about Draupadi. So Prabhupada writes that during her birth, there was an arrow message, Akashvani. Arrow message is Akashvani. That she should be called Krishna. So Krishna, actual name is Krishna, not Krishna. We say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Actually, it's a Krishna. But in a tune, we can speak Krishna. Krishna is fine. Krishna is happy with that also. Actually, it's Hare Krishna. But we say Hare Krishna, like that, which is okay. But actually, Krishna means Draupadi. Krishna means Draupadi. If you see Krishna, you don't see a line on the top of A. But in the name of Krishna, there is a line on top of A. That's how she is known. Right? And further, he said the same message also declared that she was born to kill many Kshatriyas. By dint of blessing from Shankara, she was awarded 5 husbands equally qualified. So what happened? She wanted a qualified husband, good husband. So normally what young girls do, they go to Lord Shiva, Bole Baba, and say, please give us nice husband, right? In Gujarat, I don't know where they do Sola Somvar, 16 Mondays to get nice husband. Yeah, I mean, this is all Bharata, different thing. So here she was asking, so I need a good husband. She thought Lord Shiva did not hear, but Lord Shiva already heard. So she's talked, I need nice husband 5 times. So he says, okay, I heard it. So that's how she got 5 husbands. Right? But here further Prabhupada writes that at the last stage, when they were going back after living their life, she accompanied her husband Yudhishthir and others and fell on the way. The cause of her falling was explained by Yudhishthir. So can anybody know why Draupadi fell?
She was little fast.
Little?
Like among all the husbands, I think Arjun was.
She had a favorite husband among 5 because obviously he won her, right? He won her. So obviously she had the soft corner for Arjun compared to others. And because of that, Yudhishthira Maharaj says this. But actually what happened? But when Yudhishthira entered the heavenly planets, he saw Draupadi gloriously present there as a goddess of fortune in the heavenly planets. She was only there. So you should not feel that she fell down. It is all teaching to us. It is for teaching that this happens. Okay? We should not feel that, oh, Draupadi was a fallen. Nothing of that sort. Right? This is a very important instruction that we can hear from that. And then, of course, Prabhupada talks about the Subhadra. So where is the Subhadraji's temple present? Anybody knows? Huh? Jagannath Puri. Yes, Jagannath Puri. That's where the Mother Subhadra's temple is there. So she's a sister of Balaramji and Krishna. And she's also very pious. The grandmother of Parikshit Maharaj. Yes, very nice. So these are the very chaste women that you can read this. I'm just spoke very little bit of that. I'm not gone into details of this. Okay. So, okay, let's quickly do this. We'll do the verse 5, then we'll pause because I need to leave. Pratyujjagmu praharshena pranam tanva ivagatam abhisangamya vidivata parishwanga bhivadane. Okay, who is not read? Hey, you're hiding behind, I didn't see him. Come on, please read the translation.
With great delight, they all approached them, as if life had returned to their body. They exchanged obediences and welcomed each other with embraces. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, as he came, everybody was very happy. So when the same age people meet, they embrace each other. When the younger one, they bow down. And if somebody is elder, then we bow down, right? So this is a custom. We can see this custom is followed. We should follow this every time this happens. It should not be only, many times we follow this custom depending on our convenience. It happens like that, but that should not be the case, right? So here, Prabhupada writes in the purport, in the absence of consciousness, the limbs of the body remains inactive. See, this is an important point. In absence of consciousness, limbs become inactive. If you are not conscious that Guru Maharaj is here, then we will not be able to bow down. Only if you are conscious Guru Maharaj is entering, then we bow down. The body is not going to act on its own. We have to make it work. If I have to move my hand, it's going to move on its own. I have to make a movement here. Then things happen. So this is a very important point Prabhupada is making. So Prabhupada says, but when consciousness returns, the limbs and senses become active and existence itself becomes delightful. Otherwise, the body is just lump of flesh. Panchatattva, nothing is there. Vidura was so dear to the members of the Kaurav family that his long absence from the palace was comparable to inactivity. All of them were feeling acute separation from Vidur, and therefore his return to the palace was joyful for all. It was such a wonderful occasion that he has come. It's like a festival that Vidur has come. As we can heard in the first shloka, what is it? As if they have regained their consciousness. They were like unconscious. Like if father goes for months for work and then he comes back, the child are so happy, they're jumping here and there. It's like festival for them, isn't it? Why? Because they love them so much. Similarly, when we love someone, we feel the separation. The degree of love that we have, with the degree of separation we will feel. If somebody goes and we are not feeling separation, that means we don't have that love. Let's be very clear about it. This is how it is. If somebody comes in our home, they're gone. We feel happy, now they're gone. Then there is no love. But we feel separation, that means we really love them. This is what scripture tells, dear devotees. We need to just speak and implement in our life. Right? Let's quickly do one verse. Affection. So what is the affection that we have? Let's read this. Mumuschu prema baspodhyam virahau tak kantaya kataraha rajatam arthayam chakre Krutasana parigraham. Yes, Avnish, can you read them?
Translation. Due to anxieties and long separation, they all cried out of affection. King Yudhishthira then arranged to offer sitting accommodations and a reception.
Yes, Hare Krishna. This is important. See, because of anxiety and long separation, they all will be cried out. We cry when somebody comes after a long time, like because Prabhu's mother has come. I'm sure they had a very loving exchange as soon as she came, right? Because mother has come after such a long time. The children, the grandchildren must be very happy. They feel so much joy in that, right? So same thing, when somebody comes after a long time, there is a lot of affection. Because of affection, this tears comes. Because of love, the tear comes. And when they go, there's separation, and again there a tear comes. So when they meet, there is a tear because of joy. When they leave, there is a tear because of separation and sadness. Tears are there, same tears, but they are different. But see, in both occasions it happens. When the relationship is very loving, very affectionate, these things what happens, right? And then obviously Yudhishthira Maharaj arranged offer sitting accommodation reception. Yudhishthira Maharaj is a very wonderful in reception. Whenever a devotee is coming, we should be very prepared to welcome them. We should not be like, he's coming, it's okay. No, whenever Vaishnavas are coming, we should be prepared to welcome them. Right? So this is, a devotee is always prepared. This is important thing that we should remember. right? So I think we'll pause here because we'll not be able to complete this 7 and I need to leave because I have another seva at 9 o'clock. So, yes, so anybody has any question or a comment? Okay, before that, I want to announce one thing from the temple side. So we have this festival coming up, dear devotees. Please join us for this wonderful occasion, which happens every year. So May 30th to June 2nd, there are festivals, right? I think the flyers have already come in the temple thing, but I will post it again in our group. So please join for these festivals. They are very wonderful. A lot of devotee comes. We will have some senior disciples of Prabhupada coming, so it's very great occasion. So normally Rath Yatra happens first and then the Paniyati Daichira happens. But because Sunday is an Ekadashi, we have changed it because then we will not be having the feast. We can't have Daichira with Ekadashi, something like that, right? So therefore the things have changed here, right? But it's a very wonderful program. Please join in. Obviously, big festival, a lot of devotees means a lot of expenses. So there's a request from the temple that we all can contribute whatever we can, right? In a small amount, every dollar counts. So whichever, according to our capacity, as per our will, we can donate to the temple. So I'll put this thing into our group. So please have a look at it. Okay. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत परिवेशविंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. Hare Krishna. Sorry, dear devotees, I need to rush because I have a class starting at 9 o'clock back home for Gita wise. So thank you. Hare Krishna. Point through there. Approach chennaiga. Badu fatapat mugidiya. Hey, Chumi.